Welcome back to another episode of my trading vlog, where 80% of my views are returning subscribers. If that describes you, give yourself a thumbs up. I'm gonna go over a lot of symbols today. I just want to get started with AMC on the hourly time frame. You're gonna see in yellow, I have what looks like a rising wedge. It's not really a rising wedge. If you're gonna say rising wedge, I'm gonna say, hey, Blakowski's chart pattern analysis ID criteria requires that those be over a 3-week period, and this is much shorter than that, so technically it'd be a pennant. But if we use an Elliott waveform analysis, we can easily say that, yeah, this is a, quote, rising wedge. It's really a triangle with an upward tilt, and there's a couple of different ways of looking at it. You're gonna see the lines in yellow. Just ignoring this price high we had yesterday, it looks like the best way to read the chart. You don't have to. We can disregard this, and because those 2 touch points do happen at the upper level, and we have the 3 touch points on the bottom. Typically, you'd expect this to break out bullishly, but whenever I see any kind of triangle happening in wave 3 of a push higher, of a corrective push higher, I say, hey, that's topped. So this is 1, 2, and you can see that yellow line kind of forms that 3. And there was some bearish divergence here in the RSI as well. Really, it starts back here even. You can see as the RSI is setting lower highs, the price is setting higher highs. Yesterday, I did say we could have a little more upside and then we'd start going down. We did have a little more upside and we started going down. That felt good. When I saw that starting to happen, I bought a put for next week. It's a $5 put. I'm just going to try to swing it open on Tuesday. Might be a little higher, but I'm thinking we're going to push down lower and challenge this uptrend. I'm thinking that it might actually be Tuesday or Wednesday I take profits on that put. We'll see. I don't intend to hold it. I really don't. Let's go to GameStop. I was saying yesterday that we're probably going to see a push down. We might see a little more upside too. Well, you know, sure enough, the price did push up a little bit, and it's just recently starting to turn down. It looks like that might actually be during after hours this is happening. If this is true that we are coming down, I would expect us to find a new low somewhere in the near future towards that 1650 level, starting with a motive wave heading lower, and I expect that to be at 1996 or 2073. I'm using a Fibonacci extension tool, and you can see that I'm using the height of wave 1 and applying it to the last high of wave 2. Pretty clear A, B, C, which is a 3-wave pattern. It's corrective. And from here on out, I expect to see more downside in GameStop. Yesterday, I added a few different stocks to my little routine here, and I said, these all look like they're topping. And the first one was Tesla. I said, hey, you know what? This doesn't look very great to me. Sure enough, it did come down, and we had a little push higher. I want to focus on this developing triangle. Are there too many lines in here? There are too many lines in here. So I drew this to show how the price might rise one more time and even overthrow this upper yellow trend line before heading lower. It doesn't necessarily have to do that, but it would describe a potential short-term bullish trend in Tesla before a big spill down. I am overall bearish here, looking for Tesla to retrace and confirm a downward breakout from this uptrend you're going to see in this long green dashed line. If we do get that breakout, I'm looking for an ABC correction coming down to 187 or 174. We're going to have to wait for Tuesday to really know what's going on, but this does to me look like it's just going to start going down. If it does go higher, then I already showed that. I'm expecting that triangle to play out. And if that triangle plays out, the downtrend will actually be stronger because, well, bulls get trapped and then people panic sell, right? Isn't that how that works? Let's go look at NVIDIA. Don't worry, SPY is coming up. NVIDIA, to me, it looked like it was an inverted head and shoulder pattern, and it's possible that there is a target up towards that 240 level. But I want to say this double top that's forming looks pretty convincing to me. There's not really a strong analysis until we get a new high above 230 or a new low below 210. And this 210 level is way closer. Very likely that we just get a push down. That's going to confirm the double top. And then I'll be looking for $200. You can see the RSI starting to really oscillate bearishly here. To me, this looks like a kickoff. That is to say, the RSI reaches an extreme and says, hey, this is the new trend. We're going down. That's what I'm looking for in NVIDIA, as well as Tesla. Well, what about Apple? I think Apple is also topping out. And yesterday, I almost called it down to the minute. I said, hey, this is probably a bull trap right here. And then sure enough, the price spilled. And that was in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord. We have a lot of really good analysis. Obi-Wan's always dropping his charts, and he's got a pretty good way of figuring things out with ADD and tick. I try to follow him a little bit, of course, but mostly I'm sticking to my own analysis, but I am trying to learn others' form of analysis as well. So what's going on? Well, we had this massive surge lower, and I can't quite tell if we're done with this initial push down. I know in these other stocks, it was pretty clear that we were already in a corrective trend, and here it might be a little more confusing. I think we might have push A or 1, motive wave 1, and then wave 2 is a 3-wave motion, A, B, and C. And I think this one is just confusing because it comes up, makes a new low, and then makes a new high. So A, B, and C. This does not mean that we're going to get an inverted head and shoulder pattern necessarily. In fact, what's more likely to me is that we're just going to see a big dump because we're heading into a new downtrend, I believe. The RSI didn't reach oversold, which is important. That makes me question whether or not this is really the correction cycle or if we're just getting an extension of that push down. I'll be calling full bearish reversal at 148. We could be looking for that early next week as well. So yeah, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, they're all looking bearish to me. Let's talk about SPY. No, before we get to SPY, let's go to Palantir. I had a request for Palantir the other day. I do want to cover that. And I said there might be a little more upside, but we did have a little pullback into this half-staff tilted formation that hurts overall breakout performance, and that may be the reason why we won't get up this high. We may even see here what's called a falling wedge. Now, don't do a Bukowski chart pattern analysis on that. That's an Elliott wave thing, because we have these 5 touch points, and you can see how the price overthrows or underthrows. It passes that third touch of one of the trend lines. Typically, it's the trend line that is opposite of the, let's see here, if you're correcting down, then and you're in a falling wedge, it's going to pass that third time under the bottom one. And if it's going up on a high, then it's going to be above the top one. It's kind of confusing. That third touch point, though, price typically passes it. This could provide an opportunity for a bullish reversal on the short term, and we do come up to these highs, but again, it's not necessarily going to be that way. This could easily turn into a channel. Wouldn't take a lot. It would just take one more little low, and everything else I've been looking at looks like it's going to go down, and this looks like a corrective ABC wave up. Coming down below 912 is a big deal because what it does is it cancels out the potential that this ABC move is part of a bigger 5-wave motive wave heading higher. Waves 1 and 4 can't overlap. If this becomes a motive wave, wave A becomes wave 1, and the rule is that wave 4 can't pass into the wave 1, and if it does, then you know you got something else on your hands, and well, this looks like it could be doing that. So watching Palantir closely, SPY on the hourly time frame coming down. I am starting a new bearish motive wave count heading lower, targeting that 402 level, and if the price does pass below there, I'll be calling bullish or bearish reversal all the way. Just 100%, we're going down. I think, though, the best way to look at this right now is in a right-angled broadening formation. I have that pattern drawn in white here. The price will confirm a breakout when it passes below 404, and then I'll do the price analysis and I'll figure it out at that time. So currently I'm targeting 402. It looks that we have 1, 2, and 3. 4 completing today, A, B, C. This is a similar kind of corrective, the correction that I was pointing out in Apple. It's a little more pronounced, so it's a little easier to see. And the RSI did actually reach into oversold and look at that. This is huge. This is the RSI telling us we're in a new downtrend, I believe. Anyway, so SPY, yeah, I'm looking for downside. I mean, I'm looking at the charts, and yesterday I said, I think everything's coming down, and it is. It's starting to come down. I think what's left on the list here is Dixie and VIX. The dollar did push down a little bit today. I want to talk about this bearish divergence I saw on the charts yesterday. I was noting that when you do have divergence, if it breaks, then the price moves contrary to that divergence strongly. And we did have that. Let's just blow this up a little bit. So you can see there were 2 price peaks here, and it's not price because it's an index, but whatever. You can see the RSI peaks are lower and the price peaks are higher. So this is bearish divergence. Now I was explaining if the price pushes up higher, the RSI breaks that divergence, and then we see some significant progress as the RSI oscillates in overbought. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is a very bullish thing. This is signaling to me that we are going to be making a new high in the dollar soon, and I am targeting 105 and 107. So that's where I expect to be going. Equities have a hard time rallying against a strong dollar, and so I believe we actually could be seeing that starting to happen. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this and show what is called a reverse triangle. Reverse triangles are the worst. They catch everybody off guard because they create big price swings towards the end of the pattern like this, and then when they bounce, everyone's caught off guard because they thought that this move crossing the pattern was the end, but really, hey, we don't have enough touch points. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th touch point will be up here, so we're gonna see a big push higher. It's possible there. Then we see a little resistance, and that final move up to 105, 107. So I don't want to get there yet. I am bullish on the dollar, and that's because rates are gonna have to rise. That's just it. That's just end of the story. Looking at VIX now, coming down a little bit today. You're gonna notice that I was looking for a motive, or not a motive, but a corrective push higher, and you can see here that there is a level of support at that recent peak. And remember, wave 1 and 4 of a bullish motive wave can't overlap. So it's very possible that we get support here and push higher if we are going to see a sustained downtrend in SPY. And that would correlate with a rise in VIX. You can see VIX pulling up right now. At that level, that tells me we could be going in for wave 5 of a motive wave. That, of course, is bearish for SPY. It is what it is. And I'm just going to draw something else too. You can see that the price made a big push higher here. RSI did as well. I'm just looking for divergences. There's a little one right here, I think. Yes, there was a small divergence today on the intraday, and the price did fall off of that. You're going to notice, though, the time frame for that divergence is very short. It's only a couple of hours. And so the downtrend that followed it is also only a couple hours, and we did find support there. So overall, it's looking pretty good. VIX is looking like it's going to rise. SPY looks like it's going to fall. Dollar looks like it's going up. Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, SPY, AMC, GameStop, they all look like they're going down. I just don't know what to say. I've been saying it. We're going down. We have to wait a long time, though, sometimes. Those corrective cycles, they're just exhausting. Everyone's exhausted. Day traders are just getting beat to hell. I also want to talk really quickly about Playboy. I've been looking at Playboy. Today we got a pretty extreme low. I have some pretty sweet analysis here that would support a bullish move if we can see a reversal, and I believe we are going to get it. I think we've had a motive wave heading lower through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is wave E of a triangle. Of course, it's going to pass below the bottom of, or the third touch point of that triangle, the third touch point of the bottom trend line. So this makes sense to me. From here, I am looking for more upside in Playboy, which is weird. There's actually some divergence here, bullish divergence between this valley and this valley. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if Playboy is going to trend with the stock markets or not. Stock markets. Yeah, markets, why not? This is correct. You can see this downtrend. This was nuts. So I'll be making a video about this later. Okay, I'm out of here.